Okay, so you know that idea that's like been drilled into our heads forever. Work hard, get a good job, you'll be set, financially secure, all that.
Yeah, the classic American dream, right?
Exactly. But is that really true anymore? Honestly, I'm starting to think it's kind of a myth, especially these days. What do you think?
It's getting harder and harder to believe, that's for sure. I mean, look around. Everyone's working multiple jobs, drowning in debt, still struggling to get by. It's like, is the system rigged or something?
That's exactly what it feels like, right?
Hmm.
Like we're all chasing this good job that's supposed to be the answer to everything, but the goalposts keep moving.
And it's not just like low-wage jobs either. It's people with supposedly good salaries, six figures even, who are still feeling the squeeze. The cost of living is just insane and wages aren't keeping up.
Yeah, that really struck me when I was looking into all this. You can be making what looks like a good income on paper, but then you factor in housing, healthcare, education, all the essentials,
Hmm.
and suddenly it doesn't look so comfortable anymore.
Right. And it's messing things up for everyone across generations. Young people putting off buying homes, starting families because they're crushed by student loans, or just can't afford the down payment on a house.
I've got friends in that exact situation,
Yeah.
working their butts off, have these good jobs. We're always told are the key, but they're still living paycheck to paycheck, barely saving anything, let alone investing or planning for the future.
It's almost like we need to redefine what a good job even means anymore, you know? Like, it's not just about the paycheck, it's about control. Control over your life, your time, your resources.
That's what seems to be missing for so many people, even those who look successful from the outside.
Oh, totally. Take entrepreneurs, for example. Everyone thinks they're living the dream, right? Risk takers, innovators made it. But the reality is, many of them are dealing with constant instability, working crazy hours, pouring everything back into their businesses with zero guarantees.
And it's not just entrepreneurs either. I know people who climbed the corporate ladder, got those big executive positions, but they're basically working 24/7, sacrificing their personal lives. And still, they feel like one wrong move could bring it all crashing down.
It's like we're all stuck in this game where the rules are changing all the time and the goalposts keep shifting. Even if you think you're winning, you never really feel secure.
So if getting a good job and being financially free is a myth, what's the real story? Like, what are we missing? What's the actual problem here?
The problem is we're looking at jobs as the solution when they're often part of the problem. In so many sectors, they just don't pay enough to cover the rising cost of living.
It's true.
It's like trying to fill a leaky bucket. You can keep pouring water in, but it's never going to truly fill up.
That's such a good analogy. It really makes you realize we need to rethink this whole work and wealth thing.
Mm.
We're so focused on climbing this ladder that we don't even stop to ask if it's leaning against the right wall.
Hmm.
Maybe it's time we built our own damn wall.
You got it. And that's where things start to get really interesting. So we've kind of been ripping apart this whole good job myth, seeing how it's letting so many people down, you know?
Yeah, it's like we're playing a game, but the rules are rigged. Time to rewrite those rules, I think.
Totally. We got to think outside that box. Like, job equals security. Not so much anymore. One thing that keeps coming up is diversifying income streams.
Oh, so like not putting all your eggs in one basket, even if it looks like a good basket at the time. Makes sense.
Hmm.
But how do you actually do that?
There's so many ways. That's what's exciting about it. It's not just getting a second job, although that could be an option. It's about exploring different ways to bring money in. Side hustles, investments, maybe creating your own product or service even.
So instead of relying only on that paycheck, you're creating multiple streams of income all working together to make you more financially stable, right?
You got it. Imagine building a portfolio, but instead of stocks and bonds, it's your skills and talents paying off.
I like that analogy. But I think a lot of people, they get stuck thinking, I don't have any special skills or talents.
Yeah,
They might feel like being an entrepreneur, that's not for them.
that's where it's so important to challenge those thoughts. Everyone's got something to offer. It's about tapping into what you're passionate about, your interests, hobbies even, and finding a way to make money from them.
It's funny you say that. I was talking to a friend recently. She makes incredible pottery, been doing it for years just for fun, but people always wanted to buy her stuff. She finally took the leap, started selling online. It's already a big chunk of her income.
See, perfect example. We often don't see the value in what we're good at. What might be a hobby to you could be something someone else really needs or wants.
It's like we need to see ourselves differently, right?
Yeah.
More like an entrepreneur, maybe.
And it's about taking action. So many people have amazing ideas, but they never actually do anything with them.
Right, right. So, okay, we're diversifying income, getting entrepreneurial. What else can we do to break free from this whole need a job to survive thing?
This is where redefining wealth comes in. We've been told wealth is money, right? Big bank account, fancy stuff. But what if it's something more, something deeper?
I think we've all had those moments where you realize money's important, but it doesn't equal happiness.
Exactly. Real wealth, it's about control. Control over your time, your choices, what you do with your resources. Having the freedom to live a life that matches what you value. To follow your passions, spend time with people you love, maybe contribute to something bigger than yourself.
So it's not about the amount, it's what you do with it. Using money to build a life that actually matters to you.
Yes. Aligning your financial goals with your personal values. What does a truly good life look like to you? And how can you use money to make that happen?
I was reading something the other day, this study about how people who focus on experiences, not stuff, they're happier, more satisfied with their lives.
Makes sense, right? Experiences create memories, connections. They help you grow as a person. That stuff stays with you in a way a new car or a bigger house can't.
So diversifying income, redefining wealth, and what was the other thing?
Building a safety net. And I don't just mean saving money, although that's part of it. I'm talking about a safety net with many layers. Skills, network, mindset, your overall resilience.
Okay, so not just the financial cushion. Explain that what makes it multifaceted.
Think of it like a safety net with different levels. The base layer is your financial foundation. Savings, investments, emergency fund.
Yeah, that's what everyone tells you to do, right? Save for a rainy day, all that.
Right. But then there's your skill set. The job market changes so fast these days, you got to have a diverse set of skills, stuff that's in demand, and that you can adapt as things change.
So you're not tied to one job or industry. You've got skills that work across different fields.
Exactly. Being adaptable, a lifelong learner. Always adding to your skill set. And it's not just technical skills either. Soft skills matter too. Communication, collaboration, problem solving, all that. Those work anywhere.
Okay, so safety net's financial and skill-based. What else goes into this multi-layered approach?
Your network. Having solid people around you, family, friends, mentors, colleagues, that can make all the difference when things get tough.
I can see that. Having people you can turn to for advice, support, even financial help if you really need it. That gives you a feeling of security that goes beyond just money in the bank.
It's knowing you're not alone, that you've got people who believe in you, supporting you on your journey.
And the final layer of this safety net is
Resilience.
resilience. Yeah, that's a big one. What does that mean exactly?
It's about having the right mindset, being able to bounce back from setbacks, adapt to change, keep going even when it's hard, knowing things won't always be perfect, but having the strength, the coping skills to get through those rough patches and come out stronger on the other side.
So like weathering the storms,
Yeah.
the financial ones and the emotional ones.
Exactly. And you can build resilience through practice, self-awareness, asking for help when you need it, learning from all your experiences, the good and the bad.
This whole resilience thing really speaks to me. I think we often don't give ourselves enough credit for how much we can grow, how adaptable we are, especially when we're facing money problems.
We're told so often that financial struggles mean we've failed somehow, but honestly, they happen to a lot of people. And often, it's things outside your control that lead to them.
Yeah, it's about changing how you think about it. Not shame and blame, but empowerment. Like, challenges are a chance to learn and grow. We're strong enough to get through them.
Which brings us to another big piece of breaking free from this old way of thinking about work and security, collective action.
Collective action, you mentioned that before. What does that actually look like in our lives? How do we as individuals actually contribute to making a more fair system?
That's the key question, right? It's so easy to get caught up in your own stuff, forget that you're not the only one going through it. Collective action is about understanding that we're all connected. And when we work together, we can create a system that works for everyone.
So we've been talking about taking control, right? Diversifying income, building that safety net, even rethinking what wealth means. It's a lot, but honestly, it's kind of exciting.
It is exciting. It's like, okay, the system might be messed up, but what can we do to change it? That's where collective action comes in.
Collective action, we hear that a lot, but it can feel kind of vague.
Yeah.
What's it actually look like in our daily lives when we're thinking about our finances?
It's easy to get tunnel vision on our own problems and forget that we're not alone in this. Collective action, it's about realizing we're all connected. When we work together, we can build a system that actually helps everyone.
So it's not just every man for himself trying to escape this broken system. It's more like, how do we fix it so everyone has a chance to do well, not just survive.
Exactly. And it starts with changing how we think. Less competition, more collaboration. Instead of seeing each other as rivals in this money game, we got to start seeing each other as, like, allies, partners in building a fairer world.
That's what I love about this idea. But how do we actually do that? What are some real things we can start doing to shift from that me-first thinking to something more collective?
It can be small stuff, like being mindful of where you spend your money. Support businesses that align with your values, places that pay fair wages, care about the environment, contribute to their community.
So like conscious consumerism,
Yeah.
using your money to support the good guys.
Right. Every dollar you spend, it's like voting for the kind of world you want to live in. And it's not just shopping either. Supporting organizations, groups that are fighting for real change, whether it's pushing for policies that promote equality or backing those grassroots movements, helping people who need it most.
Getting involved in your community, donating time or money to groups that are trying to make things better.
You got it. And don't underestimate just talking about these things with your friends, family, coworkers. The more we talk, the less taboo it becomes. And you might inspire someone else to take action too.
It's like breaking that silence around money, right?
Yeah.
Making it okay to talk about struggles, help each other find solutions.
It's about realizing we're all in this together. And when we come together, that's how we create a system that works for everybody.
This whole deep dive has been such a mind trip. I started out thinking about how to escape this messed up system, but now I'm like, how do we fix it? How do we build something better together?
That's the power of collective action. It's not just about individual survival. It's about, like, collective liberation, recognizing that we're all human, all connected, and using that to build a world that works for everyone, not just a lucky few.
And that's a world worth fighting for, I think. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. Hope it got you thinking, maybe even inspired you to get out there and do something.
We all have a part to play in creating that fairer world. So let's do this. Let's